So, as far as the recap, to cover all the bases, you guys attended the Festival of the Blazing Sun. Oscar was discovered to have been having nightmares throughout the night, did not look well come morning. So the party went ahead of Oscar, and Oscar kind of stayed behind to spend time with Irina and freaking Myrtle during the festival. Oscar, from where you were in the festival, you didn't get to see too much of like the decorations and things. You kind of took a slower pace, so you didn't run into the women you would have recognized. But the rest of the group, they did see the various decorations completed by the woman with a blue butterfly beret and the lady with orange and Freak and Myrtle, not freaking Myrtle. And then as far as the festival went, as far as everyone could tell, it seemed like a complete failure. It started to rain before they could actually light the wicker sun, and there was a lot of boring speeches and repetition of rules and laws to keep the devil out of Vallaki. When the wicker sun did not light, there was a particular guard who started laughing in the complete silence, to which the burgomaster said he must be punished, and by punishment he meant strapping him onto the back of his horse so he could drag him away. The party, stayed aside and decided not to interfere as to not provoke the rest of the guards in the whole town. But the festival, closed shortly after that, early afternoon. And now the party went to try and find the safe place for Irina, who they met back up with at the inn. And they met up at the church to meet with the priest, who overall kind of like doesn't really know what happened to the bones. The only thing he recalls is he had only mentioned it to one other person, which was his assistant. And him and his assistant were out helping people around Vallaki. And the only person present, the last time anyone knew the bones were there, was the boy that acts as a gravekeeper to help deal with the grounds, who lives at the orphanage. So the party agreed to meet up with him to see if he saw anything suspicious or saw anyone in or out of the church during that time. So then, I guess, as for the rest of the party, is that the wicker sun that did not light? Oh, okay. I guess for the rest of the party, you guys can probably assume that if Oscar had to be anywhere, he'd be back at the inn after the festival if you wanted to pick him up before heading to the orphanage. And as a reminder, the orphanage is this blue building here. Sell him. Yeah, I guess Oscar. After you af- yes, okay, I'll leave it up to you now, Oscar. After being up on your feet around in the festival and getting some fresh air and being awake, you do feel a little bit more refreshed, but you're still pretty exhausted from the night terrors. So do you want to just head back to the inn, or she didn't really spend too much time. As soon as the whole wait, why would I be Gale the snail? Anyway, as soon as things went sour with a person tied up to the horse, She dropped you off at the inn and then said she was going to head to the church to deal with finding a safe place. And she has you there with the kids at the inn. Left you behind. You had the kids at the inn. Sending. Okay. Yes. But Oscar is not there and is trying to figure out what you guys are up to. I thought you guys left off where you were leaving the church to head to the orphanage. Yeah, I meant to say that, like, Irina had left him behind at the inn with the two kids and was at the church with you guys before Oscar started to feel up to meeting up with everybody again. Mm-hmm. Ismark is still at the inn as well. All right, but yes, so that is that. So, Irina said that she'll stay behind to comfort the priest and try and talk through to see if he can find any more information while you guys head to the orphanage to interview the gravekeeper. And you guys run into Oscar here. You guys haven't seen each other for a bit. Any greetings or comments?
Sun on fire, but some guy that laughed at it. This sounds very weird.
Yes.
So the burgomaster tried to light the sun on fire. The sun didn't light fire. This guy laughed. He got drugged behind a horse.
Wait, so the Burgermeister killed a guy for laughing because he couldn't light his son on fire.
Yeah.
His wicker son for the festival, not
Well,
his
I don't.
son's son.
Oh, that's okay. That's slightly. Wait, but he still killed a guy.
Well, yeah, I know. And I asked Fench if he thought that that man was going to get murdered, and I believe Fench said, "Oh no, they're just going to put him in the stocks." And I said, "But there are gallows here." And he said, "Oh, it doesn't matter. It'll be fine." And then it wasn't fine.
Yeah, and then
Alright.
it went to being drugged behind a horse.
I mean,
To be fair, dude was totally possessed by the devil.
In Finch's defense, they did not hang him from the gallows like I thought they were going to do.
Yeah,
It was far more brutal.
But Finch, aren't you supposed to like uphold like law and order and all that, all good righteousness?
Who the hell do you think I am? I am not some saint come on high.
He's
What?
not an idiot. He would have had to fight all the guards.
Right? I mean, do you want us to fight all the gods, or do you want us to live today?
I guess we can live today, but as others suffer, but it may weigh on your conscience.
Hold on here. Let me get this straight. You are going to tell me something's going to weigh on my conscience. Oh, this is...
My actions don't allow men to get killed.
Sure.
So Oscar, what about that time you called Strahd?
He hasn't killed anyone yet.
Yes, the murderous vampire hasn't.
I mean, I guess he's not wrong. We haven't seen Strahd murder anyone in front of us.
You have a factual statement.
That's true. That is true. And we don't know that Fench's wife is here yet for him to murder.
We just know that a bunch of people went to his castle and then ended up dead or turned into vampires, but
I mean, if you'd like, I could message him and just be like, hey, don't kill anyone today, and see how that goes.
Didn't we did murder someone that Strahd made a vampire though, right? That was us.
oh yeah, we totally did that.
We did.
But
that.
yeah, I think that's a good idea, Oscar. Let's just check in with Strahd and see how he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, I'll do it.
Might as well.
All right. Gonna use my other.
Are we just
Little-
going to be like,
Oh.
how was your day today?
Send to Strahd.
Okay.
And just like,
What
Hey,
you
Strahd, how's it going?
doing the festival today?
Just checking in.
Great.
Yeah, just
Hilarious. Making it rain when they're trying to light a sun on fire. I loved it. Great touch.
I'm waiting for Strahd to send back a haiku.
I'm enjoying this commentary too much to have a guard arrest all of you.
Why would we get arrested?
You're saying
We're
his
talking about it.
you're saying his name.
We're
Just
not
saying
supposed to
that
talk
we're-
about him at all.
oh, we're doing this out of the earshot of everybody. Everyone else, you know.
We're on the main street. Look at the map.
To be fair, we do look scarier than most people in the town, most likely.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
I guarantee you I
Romero-
look scarier
Alright.
than
Romero
everyone
looks
in this
scarier
town.
than most people in the town.
All right, then you know, in that case, I'll call
And
up
I'm
being
also
like,
heavily
"Yo,
armed.
S Dog, how's it going? You see the festival? Just checking in, make sure you weren't killing anyone today. We're trying to keep our morals light."
You just hear back. What did you call me?
I can't reply to that message. I can only send it once, then they can reply. That's the end of the conversation. And I'm out of level 3 spells, so I can't cast until take a long rest.
Nice.
Nice.
Just start bleeping anyway.
Does he? Does he say anything?
I,
else?
I should have a bleep button for any time you say his name.
Please let this be a combat-heavy adventure day. 'Cause then Jorin's gonna need the buzzer.
all right. So,
Drag
But is that
Oscar
always
into
his
the
back?
side of something.
what else did you say in the message? You said you want to make sure he's not killing anybody today.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sounds very confusing about what you called him. And then he goes, "But why would it matter to you if I killed anyone today?"
I had said in the message that we're just kind of keeping our morals, you know, checked up. So I don't know if what he wants to take.
Is
advantage of,
hour supposed to include him? He knows you're in a group.
Maybe.
Strahd's supposed to taunt him, right? So
Anyway, but yes, that's all he says in his message back to you. Anyway, so
Well, good news, guys. It seems like he's not killing anybody currently. So there's
really,
that.
You're right, because he wouldn't be able to reply to your message, would he?
I mean, maybe it was that easy for him. He didn't have a hard time with us.
That whole like thing with the guy getting dragged behind a horse was definitely his fault, though.
Or was it
I
the
mean,
Burgermeister's fault?
it sounds like it was the Burgermeister overreacting.
But yeah.
I don't know. To me,
We probably
the
shouldn't
dude,
talk
the dude,
about this on a busy street corner. Let's get
the
focused.
dude laughing, obviously possessed. I think the Burgermeister acted how I would have expected him to act.
Yeah, but if he was possessed, you could have guys just taken him to the church to have him unpossessed.
But the church isn't holy ground anymore.
That's
The
not what-
Burgermeister didn't know this.
There's no bones at the church, so the church isn't holy ground.
Yeah, but the Burgermeister wouldn't have known that,
That's like half of our problem.
right?
Unless
I
the
have a feeling the
Burgermeister
Burgermeister would
executed
know.
him because he knew the church wasn't holy ground.
Ooh.
Now wait, what's making the church unholy ground?
It's not unholy ground, it's just not holy ground anymore.
They lost their saint that made it holy.
It's just normal ground.
Oh, like a
no
statue
longer
or
hallowed.
something?
No,
Bones.
like his corpse.
Like his bones. were-
Oh, that's gross.
That's yeah.
Well, wait, who would have taken those?
Well, that's why we're at the orphanage.
Do you think the orphans stole them?
Probably.
Could be. Apparently, one of the orphans was the other one that knew the bones were there.
On a side note, I also just remembered that our two kids are currently with us during this conversation.
Some people are missing out on some really good commentary right now.
Did he actually bring the fucking kids?
Yes,
here?
he brought the kids.
Can I just punch him? Like, I'm at this point, alright?
Roll for initiative.
You can make a strength check.
We can't just ditch them every time we go off somewhere.
No, not initiative, just a
Actually,
strength
you
check.
can.
You can't. We can.
It's the same thing.
Same thing for you. All right. You realizing that Oscar has brought children to an investigation into something that could be pretty serious. You give him a punch on the shoulder. What's your AC, Oscar?
It's 15.
Okay, but he feels it, but it doesn't look like he's very hurt by it.
You guys didn't tell me we were investigating. You just said meet up after the church.
You can't just drag the children everywhere.
I'm not dragging them. I'm taking them out. You can't just leave them alone.
We did that before with the innkeeper.
Yeah,
And
because
her
we knew we were going out on adventures where it was unsafe. We're still in the town. Heading to an orphanage. If there's any place to take kids, it's an orphanage.
Oh my god.
Wasn't that where the kids are gonna stay anyway? Actually.
Yeah,
We didn't agree on that.
well,
Fair. It was one of the options, so we might as well bring them to check it out, see if they like it. I'm with Oscar.
Okay.
If you're going to an orphanage where you might keep these kids in the future, they might as well have a say.
Okay. All right. So you approach this blue building.
Wait, hold on. What are the kids' reactions to this conversation kind of adults are having above their heads?
Myrtle is clearly Freak is covering Myrtle's ears, and Freak is just staring at you very doe-eyed and confused and scared.
Okay.
But yes. So yeah, you find yourselves outside of this large blue building. Bungie is taking care of himself, seeing that you guys have been standing here chatting for a little bit. You see that there is a sign out front that labels it as the Valaki Orphanage. But as you get closer to the building, you see an older woman standing outside speaking with an older gentleman hunched over a small wagon. You see the woman nod as she peers over the wagon. And as you guys get closer to kind of see what's going on, you realize inside the wagon is a child-sized coffin. The woman there has gray hair with streaks of brown up in a tight bun. She hears you guys approaching. She gives a very, slight smile as if to greet you, but it looks very half-assed. And she uses a finger to kind of wipe away a couple tears at the corners of her eyes.
her smile looks half-assed.
I didn't know how to say that, she... She's sad, but
As if
tried.
She wasn't trying to give a smile. She just.
Like the kind
Her
of.
smile seemed forced.
Yeah, Forrest. There you go.
Fake.
She shrugs her shoulders.
Meh,
that-
here's a smile for you.
That kind of smile where you're like, you don't want to cry, but like you still have to like say hello to people. I don't know what adjective that is.
A polite smile.
All right, a polite smile. As she wipes a couple of tears from the corners of her eyes, she kind of approaches you and she introduces herself as Claudia Belasco, the headmistress of the orphanage. And she looks at you. She's like, what brings you here?"
She listed this group of heavily armed individuals with 2 children in tow and asks, "What brings you here?"
I mean, if you want her to assume that you're dropping off 2 children and scare the children, she can change her sentence.
I'm just making sure I got that right.
We actually came here to question one of your kids.
One of my children? Why so?
He works at the church, right, guys? Is that what we're doing here?
Glad you took the lead on this one without knowing what we're doing.
Well, I'm used to take the lead. I'm sorry, I missed out when you guys were all
He's
knocking up some bones.
the guy who chats usually.
He does. Yeah, all right. Fair. Fench, you want to take this one?
What are we doing?
Maybe not.
You were there, Finch.
Well,
What's your
wasn't
excuse?
aware-
Oscar
I'm
at least
sorry.
wasn't
I think-
here.
To be fair, it was Aiden and Romero that were inside and the priest.
Like, I don't know why we brought the key. You know.
Well, Oscar
going
didn't
to
know
be-
what we were doing here. He didn't know there was an investigation happening, so he brought kids.
It's take your kids to work day.
Anyway, madam, we were going to chat with the boy who works as was it a grave digger?
Yes.
Grave digger.
Oh, yes,
at the
yes.
church.
Mil-
We
Milovoj?
also brought some children here, and we were going to inspect your facilities to see if it was fine for them to maybe stay here.
She seems a little nervous when you bring up having the kids stay there. She kind of like looks at his side. She's like, yeah, feel free to investigate. Yes. But yes, Milovoj, I'm sorry to say, he's fallen gravely ill. Do you really need to see him right away?
I mean, yeah, we have some few questions. Illness, has that fallen on several of the children here? And I kind of gesture to the child-sized coffin.
She sees that you look at the coffin. She's like, no, Milovoj seems to have something much more severe.
Then death?
Then the dead kid?
The poor child, he wasn't actually ill. He had fallen from the window up on the second floor, and she points up and you see the boarded up window.
What the hell?
Was he playing in there? Was he pushed?
I can't say, I wasn't around when it happened.
I'm
Where are
gonna
the police?
try to just peek in the coffin real quick.
What'd you say, Oscar?
I'm gonna try to just peek in the coffin real quick. Out of curiosity.
That's on brand.
You can try, but it's nailed down.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's not like a casket. It's just a little, like, wooden coffin meant for burying.
Alright. Yeah, then like me going to peek, I realize it's nailed down. I'm like, leave it alone.
Okay.
Well, that's sensible.
Alright,
Surprised
guys.
you didn't pull a crowbar out right in front of her. Immediately start crowbarring this splattered child out of his coffin.
I'm gonna lean into Romero and just be like, hey, can you like detect like holy things?
Yes.
Keep in mind you guys are still outside the building.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're not picking anything up from like in this box, right? It's not like some kind of smuggling ring or something.
I mean, I guess let's divine sense. Do I detect something heavenly, good, holy.
Is this the thing that we talked about that it doesn't go through walls? Or is
Yes.
this? Okay. You do not detect anything.
Can it go through wooden boxes?
I'll say it can go through wooden boxes.
Okay.
Because it's not as thick as like a barrier.
Your wooden box smells like a corpse.
Well, I mean, the thing we're looking for is probably
It
also
doesn't
going to smell like a
evil
corpse.
either. So I'm gonna say that it's all good.
All right, all right.
I don't detect anything amiss one way or the other.
And then how long does your divine sense last?
Not very long at all.
Yeah, I think it's just.
To the end of my turn. So
Ah,
6
okay,
seconds.
6 seconds.
Yeah.
The end of your next turn.
Oh, so 12 seconds.
12 seconds.
Quick, run throughout the house.
Boom through it at hyper speed.
Anyway, she goes, if you'll give me a moment to wheel this in the back, I can let you in, and I can lead you to where Milavoj is staying, if you really need to reach him now.
All right, well, here, allow us to do the heavy lifting for you. If she accepts our offer to, move the box.
She says, yes, thank you. I'll just follow behind to let you know where to leave it.
And I gesture to the two stronger of the group to lift this box.
I was waiting to see who you volunteered.
Mhm.
I like it. That's me.
All right. I guess me and Fench will.
Mention it up.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's light enough that you probably both don't need to do it.
Oh, well, I'll do it.
But you
then.
gotta keep it level.
It's in a wagon.
Oh, alright. It's already in a wagon. If it's in a wagon, why couldn't Oscar just do this on his own?
That's not my position.
Because Oscar.
No, I'm the guy who talks.
Alright.
True enough.
Let me bring all of your tokens over to here.
I have to find myself on the black screen again.
Let me just zoom out, then zoom in.
Oh, boy,
We're at the
there.
bottom.
Oh boy, there we are.
And we're tiny. We're
Yeah.
super tiny.
I gotta readjust. I know
Alright, join
the
with us?
grid lines don't line up perfectly, so don't mind me.
Oh man.
Alright. This is the lady.
It's close enough. It's off by a little bit.
Just a little bit. Anyway, so yes. So let me see what the shorter way around would be. I guess the gate's on this side. So she leads you all of you. No, you don't need to see it. It doesn't change anything for RP. So yeah, so she leads you to the back and lets you into the back for you to drop off the wagon. And then, oh wait, no, there's a door on the back side I can take you guys through instead. Oh, did I lose your figures?
Don't lose us.
Yeah, I'm inside.
Roll 20 like lagged a little bit.
Huh?
Holy crap, where did we go?
Go, scroll up and to the left.
Back
I am
to the left.
found.
You find
Well,
yourselves.
then now we're off by a different direction.
Yeah.
I don't
How
know.
did you
I
make
Closer, though.
I didn't make this. I got it from someone on Reddit, and then I tried to line it up with Roll20.
So if you scroll back to the right side, you're off by the same thing again. It changes it as you go across.
Yeah, I tried doing a line to grid and like maybe adjust. I didn't line it up
In the middle, it's
perfectly.
perfect.
I think right about yeah. Around
Right,
here
right
is
about
fine.
here, it's perfect.
Just stay on this vertical.
Okay. But yes, so she leads you to drop off the wagon back here. You see two teenage girls back here doing laundry, but seeing the mistress headmistress with you, they kind of like keep their head down and continue doing their chores.
Are they scared of her?
I wouldn't say scared, but more like they have that scowl that teenagers do around authority.
Oh, okay. Well, I will stay in the back with our kids.
Oh yeah, let me give you tokens for the kids.
I mean, at least there's people around here their own age.
Oscar, one of them just fell out a window.
Yeah, well,
I'll change the
they
colors for
can't all
them.
be great kids.
I don't like what that sentence implies.
Yeah.
So, no, not gonna engage.
All right, so I'll say purple is Myrtle and green is Freak for the little dots on them.
Okay.
All right. So yes, so then she leads you through up to this door, and she turns around to see that you guys are following behind.
Yeah, we're
I'm
fine.
so close behind her.
Oh, I dragged Jorin. I didn't mean to, but there he is.
Yes, queen, drag her.
And she... Tell me if the dynamic lighting works or not. She opens up this
Yeah,
back
it's
door.
working.
Yep.
It's working.
Okay, she opens up this back door and walks through. Leads you
Although
guys
I
in.
could be wrong, but I think your doors line up not perfectly. I could see around the hinges.
That's fine, because I didn't get them to... I was too lazy to get it perfect. I was zoomed out, and I was just like, lines, lines, lines.
It's fine. It's like not enough to really see, but you could definitely tell. that
There's like lighting through them.
Yeah.
But yes, so she leads you in. You find yourselves in kind of like a main living area. From where you're standing, you get to see that there's 2 dining room tables in front of you with a bunch of chairs scattered around. And further on into the room, how far can you guys see into it?
All the way in.
All the way in?
Yes.
All right. So,
Lots of children.
Looks like they're all huddled around a dollhouse.
yeah. So you see 3
Well,
girls.
3 different colors.
3 girls sitting down at the bottom, hanging out, playing with a dollhouse in the corner. You see an older, another teenage girl sitting on the couch reading to 3 toddlers huddled around on the floor, sitting and listening peacefully. And then you see a boy and girl near the dining room tables that look like they're playing a game of tag together. Fench. You happen to notice the girls by the dollhouse. One of them seems to be rubbing a part of their back as if it's bothering them. And you notice that one of the girls sitting next to her is wearing short sleeves, and you see kind of like splotchy bruising up and down her arm.
Is everything on the up and up here?
Uh,
What's wrong with these kids?
Claudia,
Why is
turn.
Fench indoors? Why is he still hanging out outside?
Oh, why are you outside?
Suspicious.
Hey, Finch, why don't you come in with the rest of us?
Oh,
I
I'm not
assumed he was
inside.
in there.
Oops. I was just assuming I was there.
Quick question. Height
dragged him in.
ratio.
Yeah.
Does Jordan is he about the same size as a lot of the kids here?
How tall are you, Jorin?
Oh, I'm blind. I don't see things.
Oh, is this your token that doesn't have vision?
Correct.
There you go.
I was on the tall end for a halfling, so close to 4 feet.
So he's taller than
Okay.
the kids, but probably, if not the same height, a little bit shorter than the teenagers.
All right. Just curious.
Okay, but yeah, Claudia responds. She's like, "I apologize. It's always a mess here. No matter how often I lecture the kids, kids are kids, and everything's a mess."
Aiden's about to become the housemaster of the orphanage.
But Claudia goes through and she says, "This is Milivoje's room. He's very ill. I hope he's able to speak with you." And she opens the door and steps aside to let you guys in.
I guess we'll go in. Oh shit, he must be important. He has his own token.
It's not meta at all.
That's how it works. It's facts. Facts, I say.
Is the room looks like somebody got jugging dirt into the bed?
Yeah, I was gonna start describing it once you guys all head in.
Okay.
Fench, can you see yet?
Yes.
Okay.
I see.
Oh my god, he shit the bed.
And the floor. Muddy
There's
boots.
shit everywhere. He's just shitting everywhere.
Are you going in, Aiden, or are you staying back with the kids?
I stay back with the kids.
All
I
right.
tell them to stay close to me and don't touch anything.
So yes, so as you enter the room, you do see the trail of dirt leading from the door and kind of throughout the entire room, but the strongest trail is from the door to his bed. There's an old shovel on the ground at the foot of the bed, and in the bed you see the young man sleeping unrestfully, continuously tossing and turning. Which one of you is closest? Is it Oscar?
I guess it's me, yeah.
Okay, so Oscar, you notice that he's covered in sweat from what's likely a fever that he's suffering through. And you do see kind of like some bile on the side of his lips, and there's potentially some blood mixed in with that bile. And he's becoming a gravely shade of pale.
Would I know, would like healing word help this at all?
I mean, you could try it. Or you could like check on him.
Yeah, let's just go check on him. I want to go.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be careful it doesn't like give me, lycanthropy or anything like that nature. I don't know what these kids have in here.
Make either an Arcana or Medicine check.
Yeah, all sorts of demons in the business.
Let's go Arcanus. 9.
You can't tell much from his condition other than he's clearly very ill. And he's likely suffering through nightmares at the moment. Much like ones that you had not too long ago.
Does he look
Oscar.
like he has any of that like tree stuff around him or on him?
You don't notice any of the veins that you noticed on yourself. But you do see some bruising here and there.
Oscar, the boy is sick. Move aside and I'll handle this.
Alright, I'll step off to the side.
I want to use lay on hands to cure his disease.
Okay. So you do put you use lay on hands on him, and it looks as if he kind of calms down a bit since he it's almost like his fever drops just a little bit, but then it seems to spike back to where it was. Kind of like giving him temporary relief, but not removing the disease.
Bet. So I use 5 points for nothing.
You should have used medicine first.
Well, it's clearly not a disease or poison.
You think it's magically based?
I would say it's something else. It's not.
If you give me 10 minutes, I can try to detect what it could be.
I mean, I ain't got anything else to do.
So I'm gonna pop both these up here just to read the description real quick and then do one of them. I think it identifies
you
only
guys should,
for
maybe take a look
objects.
around this place because something's happening to this boy that's not natural.
Alright, yeah, I'm just gonna I'm gonna take the time to ritual cast detect magic on the boy
Okay.
to see if anything comes up from him.
Okay. So the rest of you guys, do you want to do anything while he's ritual casting?
Can I ask Jorin to watch the kids while I check them out?
Sure. They're my size.
You guys
This
can go
might-
play tag.
When I go to cure disease, does it count as trying to neutralize a poison at the same time if there's one, or?
I'm gonna say from what you gathered is about right that lay on hands probably is not enough.
Gotcha.
Alright. Can I
Cool.
use my Arcana?
Sure.
And I also have medicine proficiency.
Okay. All right. So yes. So with that, Aiden, you can surmise that the condition is magical in nature and definitely not contagious by any means. But yeah, it's a magical ailment.
Hmm. It's not contagious though.
It's not.
Can I figure out a cause? Like, is it a curse? Is it
From what you can guess, based on spells you know and things, you'd likely guess that it came from something like a bestow curse spell.
So I'll think to myself, can I go check these children down here? Because they're afflicted by something similar, right?
Fench did not say anything to anyone.
Hold on. I thought I was very clear.
You just asked if everything's fine. Unless
Out loud.
I mean,
he asked Claudia if things were on the up and up.
and I'm not really buying it.
Well, it looks like a curse to me, Romero. So it
would
likely
have to
only
be.
affects him.
Either that or he's undead, but I don't think it's that. The boy doesn't look that way.
Okay, something doesn't seem too right about the kids here.
Let me know when my detect magic goes off.
What do you mean, Finch?
The kids look pretty beat up. They look like something's happened to them. I don't like it.
This room is filthy. Someone should clean it so the boy can get some rest. Also, it clearly came in here directly after digging something up, so perhaps we should search the room.
Is he unconscious or just asleep?
He's unrestfully sleeping. So like he's sweating, he's tossing and turning, but he's not coherent.
Can we wake him up?
You can try.
Alright, I try.
Yeah, so you reach over to try and shake him, but he doesn't seem to respond at all. He just kind of lets out a weak moan, and you can feel the sweat on your hands from where you reached over.
So he's just sweaty with some blotchiness to him and won't wake up.
Sweaty, fever, unrestfully sleeping, splotchy bruises, and very pale.
I mean, it sounds like it's like slowly killing him.
Well, on top of that, the room is filthy. He just came after grave digging, clearly. We should try to search the room and clean it up for him.
You're right, Romero. Let's search the room.
Okay.
Yeah.
So searching through the room, you see that he doesn't have much in his belongings. He has some basic clothes to change into. Nothing seems to stand out as anything that he would have taken from a gravesite or from a church.
Is this dirt recent?
It's not very recent. It just looks like it's just from days and days and days of coming home, just falling asleep after the graveyard shift.
Alright.
I did the drumstick motion to myself.
Well, I feel like we're not going to get much information out of him unless we somehow break this curse. So I guess Oscar,
Yep.
it's time to figure out where he came from before he got home.
Okay. At this point, Oscar, your detect magic goes off. You get basically the same information as Aiden, that it's definitely magical. It can't be passed on to you, and it's likely like bestow curse or some other form of evil.
Okay, now is that something that once the church is back up and running, they can fix?
It's very possible. You'd have to speak with the priest himself to see what he specializes in.
Alright. Well, didn't, Aiden, you've spoken with the priest before.
Yes.
Do you know if once we have the church up and running, this is something he can, possibly fix or remove?
The church is, like,
Unfortunately, that's
still up and running.
circular. Yeah. Millivulge is the only witness left of the site when the bones were stolen, and until the bones are stolen, are returned, the church is not operational.
So what do we think? He saw someone steal the bones, and the man cursed him, or do we think he stole the bones, and because he did that, he got cursed?
I mean, we could ask him.
We can't. He's asleep. Won't wake up.
Have you
See,
tried waking him up?
We did.
Literally, we did. I mean, you're welcome to try. I'm thinking we need to take a look around this very shady orphanage.
Yes.
Could I, would I know, can I cast detect thoughts on a sleeping person to see what their thoughts are as they sleep?
What's the wording on it?
It's a lot of wording.
It's a lot of words.
Yeah.
When you cast the spell as an action on each of your turn, until the spell ends, you can focus your mind on any creature that you can see within 30 feet. You can learn their surface thoughts, and then probe deeper to try to gain insight into reasoning, emotional state, or something that looms large in its mind.
Okay. I guess by that wording you'd be allowed to, right? Because he's present in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't say anything about people that are sleeping. I just don't think he'll be able to influence the person's train of thoughts because it'll be based on whatever he's
I mean, I don't know if he's.
reading about.
I mean, he might be reliving if something cursed him per se, he might be like, you know, revisiting that in his unconscious state or something.
I mean, I don't see any reason why this wouldn't allow you to read his thoughts.
Then yeah, let's cast it up on him. Let's detect what's going on in his mind right now.
Okay. Yeah, so on the surface what you get is just the overwhelming feeling of like fear and despair.
And is this directed towards like a person or a thing, or just because of the sickness? Like, you know, he's afraid of the sickness.
You don't get any like particular images of like a person. It's not as if he's having a nightmare about a person. He just seems to be stuck in a nightmare state. So he's kind of seeing like flashing images of scary silhouettes and things coming at him.
Gotcha. And is that is the woman still right outside the door, right?
Yes.
All right, because I still have 10 minutes, so I'm just gonna cast my direction onto her thoughts.
Are you gonna swap it? Okay.
Yeah. And just use it like an action.
On the surface, she seems like a mix of, she's jumping between different thoughts about how she's sad that Cedric passed away in the way that he did, about how to protect the children, and what these people are actually in here for, referring to you guys.
Mm-hmm. And then I forget, Finch, did you let us know about the bruises on the other kids?
Yes I did.
Okay, while I still have this up on, you know, detect thoughts up and about, I am gonna ask her, you know, hey, you know, does this Has any other kids seem to be sick like this? I've noticed a few bruises on some of them.
She kind of looks nervous at the thought, and she's like, no one as sick as this. I have noticed what you've noticed. I'm doing my best to try and find out what might be going on.
And then, what was she thinking about? Like the same thing, or when I mentioned the bruises, was she thinking of anything else?
Um, her thoughts are definitely there. You wouldn't get the idea that she's lying to you at all, but you do get an idea that she kind of thinks about a set of books that she's been reading, but you don't get any further details in that. Kind of like she flashes to like she's trying to read up on it.
Okay, gotcha. Then I'll continue like, um, the only thing I really know about child care is just things I've read up on books. I don't know too much. If anything like that could maybe help these kids.
What books are you reading? I've been trying to do some research as well. I know the library has had some okay resources, but I'm willing to take recommendations.
Oh well, I mean the only books I've been reading were a singles mother's guide. I thought it was a completely different kind of book, but overall a decent read.
Jesus. She's like, okay, you do seem like you're caring about children. If you guys have a little bit of chance to talk, I can go over kind of what I suspect might be happening, but I wouldn't want to do it near any of the children.
Do you have a more private room?
I have my office that I go to handle the ins and outs of the orphanage.
Let's continue this conversation there.
Okay. So, Oscar, you're definitely going. Is everyone else going?
Well, at least one person should stay with the kids, and then if anybody else wants to like investigate.
Yeah, I'm gonna look around.
Okay.
I'm hanging out with the kids.
Okay.
Alright, because that means I'm going with Oscar.
Don't sound so happy about it.
Somebody's got to keep him in check.
What about you, Romero?
I guess I'll just keep an eye on the kid, since I'm probably the only person in the party that could help him if something went wrong.
Okay. So let me zoom out a bit and find the room that is her room. Okay. Alright. Whoop. Too many things. Yes. So she leads you two to this room here on the other side of the hallway, opening some doors behind her and leaving them open.
All right.
Yeah. And then you see that she pulls out a key from a chain that she was keeping in her pocket and unlocks the door to her office. Dynamic lighting. All right, and then she leads you guys in to have a chat.
All right.
So, Aiden, where do you want to go looking first?
I'm gonna walk past these kids telling the story and
Okay.
listen.
Okay. What about you, Romero? Are you just taking watch on Milivoj?
Yeah, I'm doing like the nurse thing where you kind of try to get the sweat off of him.
Oh, you're like patting his head and such.
Yeah, since someone's got to take care of this dying kid.
And then, Jorin, what are you up to?
I'm hanging out with freaking Myrtle, making sure that nothing awkward happens to them.
Okay. Do you want to bring him to play with any of the kids, or are you guys just gonna like keep a distance?
What's their body language like? Do they look like they want to play with the kids, or do they look like, hey, we'd rather be on our own?
They seem curious but shy, since they haven't really had a chance to be around other kids for a bit of time.
So, since Freak is the older one and kind of protective of Myrtle, I'll say to him, like, hey, it's okay if you want to go say hi to the other kids and try and play with them.
Freak looks confused. He's like, is it really safe? I mean, we haven't really played with anyone in a while.
Yeah, it's fine. And, I'll still be here. I'm not going to go anywhere. I won't be far away.
Okay. Freak listens, and then Myrtle follows behind. Instead of actually going to play with the other kids, it looks like they had their eyes on one of these toy chests here that have various toys in them. That purple does not stand out very much from the pink, but like zoomed out.
Change to yellow.
To yellow. Oops, wrong button. I was using orange for the babies. That does stand out a little bit more. Oh, nope. Oops. But yes. So they're playing with those toys there.
She's an ex-Myrtle.
All right, Aiden. But yeah, the story that they're telling seems to be a basic kind of like fairy tale for kids. Nothing odd or out of the ordinary. But you do see the occasional bruising on some of their like wrists or biceps, but nothing nearly as large or deeply bruised as Milivoje's were.
On all 4 of them?
You kind of see it randomly between the whole group of kids there, between the girl and the toddlers, and then the 3 around the dollhouse. They don't have the same exact bruising across them, but you do see some bruising throughout.
Can I join the toy game?
Yeah.
Alright.
Aiden, child at heart.
Yeah, is there anything you're specifically looking to do, or...
I wanna, try to start up a conversation with them.
Okay. The 3 girls here are probably between the ages of 5 and 9. They seem excited to have someone else to play with, and they're like, which one's your favorite dolly? And then they start pulling out various dolls. A lot of them look Blinsky made, but look like they've been worn through the years, so they're much less creepy than a lot of the toys that you saw for sale in a shop.
I guess I picked one of them.
Okay. Yeah, all of them generally look the same from how worn they are. And out of the 3 girls, one of them, she shouts, she's like, he has the same favorite as me. I have the best one then. And then she gets really excited and tries to explain various things about the doll with you. But all the girls are very focused on the game. They're not really talking about anything else.
I ask him if Milivoje ever plays with them.
One of the girls gets a really sad look on her face. She's like, he used to. I mean, he's always going to work to help pay for things around here, and then he got really sick, and it's really scary. Are you here to help him?
When about did he get sick?
I guess after that new boy showed up, the boy named Felix.
Felix? Do you get many new boys around here?
I mean, between a lot of the things that happen over in Barovia, we hear a lot of scary stories about a scary lady. So anybody that makes it out of there tends to be here.
What about that mark on your arm?
She seems kind of shy about it. She tries to cover up. She's like, I just woke up with it one day. I don't know where it came from.
Well, it seems that a lot of people have been developing it here. Was that about the same time that Felix showed up?
She kind of stops and she thinks, she's like, no, mine came a little bit later after he showed up.
And where is Felix?
I don't know. He doesn't really talk to the rest of the kids. It's kind of weird like that, but I guess because he's the new guy.
Alright. So, he's not out here then. He's someplace else.
Correct.
I ask if she knows anything about the boy that fell out the window.
All three girls kind of like look kind of like nervous, and they're like, we just woke up one day and heard like the crashing noise. We don't know what happened. We were all sleeping. And then one of the girls. Go ahead.
There wasn't any sound before that?
She tries to think, and she's like, if there was, it didn't wake me up. And
What time was it?
and the one girl kind of just like, she puts her hand, like her finger on her chin, and is like staring up at the ceiling. One of the other girls contribute. She's like, our bedtime is like, I don't know, like a little bit after dinner time. So probably when it was real dark out.
Is the bedtime enforced?
Little girl looks at you confused. She's like, you mean we all have to go to bed at the same time? Then yeah.
And where did it happen?
The upstairs, they just put wood on the window to keep other kids from falling out.
Well, I believe you've been a big help. So I'm going to give you back your favorite doll here.
She excitedly claps her hands and says that her name is Vanessa, the doll. I completely blanked on a random name.
Well, goodbye, Vanessa. And then I'll step away.
She uses the doll's hand to wave by.
And then I'll push through this tag game.
Okay.
And then I look over at Jorin and the kids playing. Have they like taken toys with them?
Freaking Myrtle kind of like at this point have sat down next to the toy chest and are like playing together with various toys that they see.
Alright, so I'll discuss with Jorin the information I got. So, Jorin, we should probably move on to investigating this incident and figure out who this Felix kid is.
So a lot of bad things have happened since Felix has been around, huh?
Yes.
Well, I hope that the others can find as much from the headmistress and maybe find out where Felix might be as well.
Yes.
You think we should go tell them?
I assume they'll probably come out here after their talk with her.
Okay. I hate to leave freaking Myrtle alone.
Especially with this bruising, whatever.
And this random Felix.
I'm trying to... I don't like whispering on Roll20. I wanted to whisper something at one of you, and like it keeps telling me players not found. Do I have to
Do it on Discord.
do it in quotes?
Should be /W, a name, space, a name, space, a message.
Yeah, your name has a space in it. So it's giving me a hard time. He keeps telling me you can't find at Stryder.
At Stryder Owens.
There
Why you
should be an
gotta have
at.
Oh, no at, just...
Yeah, it should just be /W/writer.
Did that work?
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
All right. So then, yes, so you two have had that discussion.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'll let you figure that out, and then I'll have the conversation with Claudia and Oscar and Fench. So Claudia has led you two into her office. She goes, all right. So I've been reading up on a couple of books to try and get behind some parenting, see what might be going on around here. So she walks over to... is this where it is? Hold on one second. I want to double check. Oh, never mind. No, so it's not in here. My bad. But yeah, so she leads you into this office. Looking in the office, you see that's fairly modest. There's a desk right in the front of the fireplace in the center of the room, and there's bookshelves along the northern wall. Looking at the spines of the books, you can guess a lot of them are just kind of volumes of official documents regarding things of the orphanage. Yeah, and then Claudia, as she brings you in, she turns around and she explains, all right, so I have noticed some interesting things that I haven't had much luck finding in any kind of parenting books. How familiar are you guys with in more, I guess, dark magic, evil magic?
Well, I'm not too familiar, but I'm not a stranger.
Do
Okay.
you think there's some dark magic at use here?
She walks over to her desk and she pulls out of one of the top drawers what looks like a small locket.
On a side note, has the minute by now been up for my detect detect thoughts?
I'd say you're probably right on the cusp of it. Like you could probably detect one more thing.
All right, I'll try to detect one more thing as she's talking about this dark magic and this kind of stuff.
All right, you see that she's thinking of the coffin outside.
Okay.
So she pulls out this locket. You see that it's kind of made out of a rusted tin in the shape of a circle. There's an X scratched into the lid of it, and it's hanging on a chain made of old tin as well. So she takes it out and she leaves it on her desk, and she explains, I'm not sure what this is or what this means, but I did find it on the body of Cedric when we went out and checked on him when he crashed through the window.
It was on him?
Yeah, it was in his possession.
You got these messages?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Can you tell us more about that? And do you mind if I cast something real quick?
She looks confused. She's
And by
like,
quick, I mean 10 minutes.
she looks. She's like, oh, so you're a practicer of magic then?
Yes, I do know a few tricks here.
She's like,
And I'm gonna start ritual casting Identify as we continue the conversation.
okay. And she what was it that you asked before you started casting that? For more
What was that?
details.
Yeah, we just continue the conversation about different things.
Okay. But yeah, so she's like, yes. So I'm not sure if this locket is connected to everything. It is very weird. I have never seen anything like this on any of the kids that have, been in the orphanage. We do have the newer child though, named Felix, who since joining is when I started seeing some odd things around. She walks over to her bookcase to pull some documents out, and it looks like it's a more recent journal. It's not as filled as she's flipping through the pages, and she goes to some of the later filled in pages. She explains, yes, Felix came to me. All they told me was that his parents were brutally murdered and they never found the killer. And then he comes here and we start seeing strange happenings. Kids start getting the bruises and everyone starts falling ill. And just at this point, I'm kind of beside myself as to what might be going on.
I'm sorry, Kate, if you'd give me 1 second to just adjust my headphones. You're coming in and out, and I think it's definitely on my end.
Okay. Do I sound fine to everybody else?
Yes.
Okay. But yeah, so, and anything you want to say, Fench?
So, when exactly did this start up now?
When Felix came to the orphanage. It was about the soonest I can think all the strange happenings began.
Alright. Well,
Mike's TV's coming through.
Yeah, now it is, now that he's adjusted. I wonder if he can hear us yet.
Let's see. Do you want me to hold up until he...
He's casting right now. He's really focused, right?
Yeah, he's focused. You're fine.
Well, I guess the issue must be directly from him then. I mean, at least that seems to make the most sense. So it might have been something that he either interacted with and it's staying with him for some reason. So, if we can't get something solved in the moment, it might be best for him to be moved temporarily.
She seems...
But it does seem that we should be able to figure something out. So, is there anything spectral in nature, or what's a good thing to say? Or anything that's been outside the norm that you haven't told us already?
She thinks for a moment. She's like, can you define spectral for me? A lot of my life is here in the orphanage.
I don't know. Weird shadows, the children complaining of people talking to them there that aren't there. You know, the kind of weird stuff that happens in orphanages.
She thinks to herself, the kids, they haven't really confided in me, but I do have the nickname as Belasco the Bully, as I try to enforce rules around here. So I don't know that the kids would necessarily be comfortable in telling me if anything was exactly going on.
Well, I guess that does make a little sense.
She thinks for a bit. But yes, I myself can't place any of that happening while I'm around in the orphanage. Other than the strange bruising and Milavoj falling very ill, those are the biggest clues. As far as moving Felix anywhere else, we're the only orphanage for some miles away. I'm not sure where he could be.
Oh, no. It would be like an overnight kind of deal.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
I'm thinking more along the lines that we take him to the church and see if we can get an exorcism.
Oh, you believe he himself might be the issue?
Either that or it's some sort of curse or some other malign thing that he may have picked up in his travels, I suppose.
Could just.
Oh no, robot voice again.
Is it? Try to figure on.
He's drunk.
I'm so my ritual.
He does sound a little drunk because of it. It's pretty funny.
Pretty amazing. It's the best Oscar I've ever heard.
Unplug, replug. But yes, so from what you've said, Fench, Claudia
Now we're on Super TV.
Super TV. She's thinking about it and she's like, yes, that would make sense that, you know, I don't have too much information about his history, so a lot of things could be possible. She asks, in your adventures, though, have you ever seen anything like this? And she opens up the locket and there is an inscription on the inside.
Oh, what is that? Whose is that?
She says, like I said, I just found this on Cedric. I can't say exactly where it came from or who it belongs to, but there is writing inside that I can't understand. What languages do you speak?
Let me see. I know he does speak Sylvan. Let's see, what is it?
Yeah, because you're
Yeah, he
married.
speaks Common and Sylvan.
Right, let me double check what Oscar can read.
Because he's married to Dryad. He's got a wife tied to a tree. Now that woman has been sent to Strahd. And he's
What I
really
miss?
unhappy.
Romero's singing about why Fench knows how to speak Sylvan.
Sadly, it is not a dryad. That would make things easier.
It's right. It's what, nymph?
Yeah. We can just say generic Fae.
But
A Fae could be anything.
yeah, so as she opens up the locket, there is an inscription inside, but neither Fench or Oscar, neither of you can read it.
Dun dun dun.
Do you have a comprehend language or something sort of spell?
Well, hold on, let me finish my ritual casting, Finch. Can't you see my whole setup going on here with the candles and such?
Not gonna lie, was not looking. But now that you say that, I do kind of feel like a fool for not seeing it.
Let me double check. So you're
The
identifying.
language wasn't Elven, right?
Sylvan, not Elven.
Oh, the language in the locket was Sylvan?
No, I can't read it either.
Yeah, I checked your languages, Oscar. It's not Elvish,
Okay.
Common, or Sylvan.
Okay.
All right. So from your identify, how much does it tell you again? Let me read. It is definitely a magical item, and it is typically used to keep a demon locked inside of it.
Oh, shoot. I think my headphones broke up again. I didn't get that last bit.
The most important bit.
Yeah, you're like, and it's used for something.
Important part.
For allowing demons to be stored in it.
Did you hear that?
Allowing demons to be stored in it?
Yes.
Yeah, that wasn't
Yeah,
a joke. I was
that
telling you.
was the thing.
He's like, preposterous. In an orphanage? No, yep, that's its purpose.
And do I know, is there a demon currently stored inside of it? Is it ready to receive a demon, or does it currently house one?
Do you have what paladins have? Divine
Nope.
sense.
I'm just hoping this still goes after my identify. You know, if it tells me if it's got filled or not.
No, I think it just tells you how to properties and how to use it.
Okay.
It'll tell you if it has any charges. I don't know if that counts, but
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably bring it over to my brother when I see him next to see, like, hey, this thing got a demon in it? And if not, it probably got out. But yeah, no, I will say to the woman, oh yeah, I'm gonna hold on to this. This is definitely used for sealing a demon, and I currently can't tell if it has one in it or not.
Her eyes grow wide, and she's like, "Oh dear. Okay. Please handle that. I don't know how it got here. I don't want it here anymore, especially if that's what's hurting the children."
And then let's go talk to this Felix kid as well. Where's he at?
He's typically alone. Maybe he's upstairs in the bedrooms. It seems like a lot of the kids are down here playing, so.
Is he often by himself, not with the other kids?
Fairly often, yes.
Does he seem dark and brooding?
He doesn't seem to get along with other kids. I didn't know if it's him needing to adjust from, the fate of his parents, or if it was anything else.
Do you notice, do animals hate him?
We don't have many animals around in the orphanage, so I can't speak to that.
Alright, well, luckily for you, we bring out all the stops with Romero, my brother.
Did you call your brother an animal?
No, he has the bunny!
Oh. I was like...
This holds it up to detect if something's evil or not.
Yeah, I figured that's what you meant, but like the way you put it out, it was like, huh? All right. So there's that conversation. So yeah, so Romero, as you're caring for Milivoge, you do get like a faint sense that there's an evil aura kind of around him, but it's very faint to you. But yes, so everybody, where's everybody headed now? I know, Oscar, you made it sound like you're heading back to Oscar. Aiden and Jorin, do you guys know where you want to head to?
I think I was just waiting to rejoin everyone.
Okay.
I think that's the general consensus, right?
Waiting for the party to assemble.
All right, I'll drag everyone back to Oscar or to Romero then. Jorin, did you want to stay with the kids, or you think the kids are fine?
Do they look like they'd notice if I left?
They probably wouldn't notice.
I'll go with everyone else.
Okay, so you're all back in Milivoge's room.
Welcome back. Did you guys find anything?
Oh, definitely.
We found this
so.
cursed locket. It may or may not have a demon in it.
That's always fun.
And if it does not have a demon, that might be why all this stuff's going on. And there might be another kid here that's cursed. Name of Felix.
Yes, I've also heard about this Felix, but it also seems like whatever is afflicting the one kid is spreading.
It's spreading? Well, I don't know about that, but there's something, I don't know, evil afflicting this boy.
I'm gonna toss the locket over to my
Evil
brother.
locket, missing demon, evil thing infecting boy. I think things seem to be adding up here.
Perhaps.
So yes, Romero, you see that Oscar's handed you over the locket.
Can I read what's in it or no?
Let me double check your languages.
Common and Celestial.
Yes, you can read what's inside of it.
Oh, it's written in common.
Of course. In Celestial, you're able to read that it says, "Let darkness hide from the gaze of the light."
That sounds helpful.
I read it out loud. Anyone
That's
knows
never
what
good.
that means? I assume this is for sneaking in bad things under the radar. I mean, under the watchful gaze of protectors. Because we don't know what radar is.
Sounds like, a little on the nose for the kid working at the church being having some dark affliction.
I mean, assuming this was something that the kid from the church got, he could just be cursed by someone.
Well, this was found on the boy that jumped.
Perhaps we should search Milivoge here and see if he's got a similar locket. Also, I can divine sense the locket and see if it's evil.
Okay. Divining sense the locket, you can smell that is actually used for evil, but you don't have a strong enough scent to imply that the demon is currently present.
Gotcha. I toss it back to Oscar and I say it's empty, I think.
It's empty.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
So,
well,
any
we
feel
have
for
an answer,
where
sort of.
demon might be.
I assume if there's a demon on the loose, it's either wandering about here waiting for someone to smash its head in, or possessing one of these children.
Namely,
Well, let's go
possibly.
see the guy that seems most possessed. That Felix character. Let's go to him.
We should probably also check out the scene where the boy fell out the window.
Yes. See that room? Alright. First, I just want to look over Milivoge and see if he doesn't have one of these lockets on him as well.
Okay, so you try to look over through his bed and through his see if like any of his belongings imply that he has this, but you don't see anything. But do a investigation check for me.
You did.
Okay, but yeah, so looking around.
Romero's not an investigator.
Looking around Millivillage, you don't see anything other than him being ill. Nothing stands out to you.
Oh well.
Let's go punch the ghost out of a demon child.
Oh, is that how exorcisms work?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much.
Okay. So I think the only person that has a hint is Oscar and Fench that he's likely upstairs and away from the other children.
You
Alright,
lead
well,
the way, Crooked Fench.
Crooked Fench is best Fench.
I also apologize. The rabbit has pushed his toy up to a door. So earlier I thought people were
Is
knocking.
Yeah.
I thought people were knocking and it's just the rabbit playing with his toy. I'm going to move it real quick.
Need that Edgar Allan Poe happening.
Whoa. So fast.
I'm a speedy little guy.
He's very mad at me for inconveniencing him. He flicked his feet at me very angrily. All right. But yes. So, Fench and Oscar, you, when you were led to the office by Claudia, you did see the stairs that lead to the second floor.
Ah.
I think I just
Or
glossed
can I
over
go
it.
up there?
So that'd be here in this hallway. But before you guys head upstairs, anywhere else you want to check out?
No.
Well, I was interested in stealing some children. No!
Why is that your assumption that I say, is there anything else you want to look at? It means in stealing children.
Well, it was more like
Maybe on the way
children's
out.
stuff.
All right, I drag you guys. All right, so scroll up.
Oh, there.
Don't you leave those kids helplessly murdered.
I thought I found the spot and then it went away.
Fench has wandered off on his own, not caring at all.
Not in there.
Where are we? Oh, never mind. I found it.
We're upstairs.
Okay, so you guys have found yourselves, are now on the second floor hallway. So now up in this hallway, you see that there are 6 different doors, many of them left wide open. The only one closed is the one at the north end of the hallway down here. At the southern end of the hallway, here is where you see the broken window that has been boarded up with wood.
I mean, I guess we go to the door that's locked.
Well, I can confirm there's nothing else in... Well, there's nobody in any of those rooms, so...
Is it locked or just closed?
It is closed, but Aiden, did you say you wanted to look at the scene of the crime?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, don't leave my children downstairs.
So, is someone staying behind with the children, or are you guys bringing the children upstairs?
They can go upstairs.
Oh,
They're your children? I thought they were Oscar's children.
they're about to get possessed.
You know, he's stepdaddy Aiden. Remember?
Yeah.
You let them bring their toys upstairs, and they seem happily playing with like what do you call the toys where it's got the ball on a string and you have to catch it in the cup?
It's
Ball
a
in a
ball
cup?
and a cup.
No.
Is that exactly what I asked? What's his face?
Blinsky to
and he
make
said
you.
He didn't know how to make it.
No, he just said he was confused by it. But yes, so that's what Freak is playing with, and Myrtle's playing with like a little stuffed animal who has seen better days. But yes, Aiden, make an investigation check. Okay. You see that the window's been boarded up and it's clearly all the glass shattered outwards. There's no like leftover glass on the inside, but otherwise nothing else seems to really jump out at you. Do you want to say Jorin was helping you look at it?
That was the plan.
Okay, then roll with advantage. Okay, so with Jorin helping you, Jorin actually kind of looks closely at the windowsill and points out something to you. Aiden, looking at it, you see that there kind of looks like light fingernail scratches on the inside of the windowsill, as if whoever was pushed out, Cedric, tried to resist.
Well, Jorin, it seems it was murder.
Not murder. Is that all
How-
we can tell? Is just like some fingernail scrapes on the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel that we should inform the others.
Fench is upside down again.
I think that it was kind of assumed, Jorin.
Fench is in the right direction.
No, he's upside down again.
All right, so you open that door, Oscar?
Yes.
Okay.
And he's crooked.
Bunch of kids.
Yes. So opening the door, you see that you have happened upon the nursery. Opening it, you see that there are 3 cribs, a chest of drawers, and an old stuffed chair. 2 of the cribs you can hear have babies sleeping in them peacefully. And then you see in the center of the room a teenage girl with a baby on her hip trying to soothe it by humming a lullaby. Off in the corner of the room, there's a young girl sitting on the floor reading quietly to herself.
Have any of you guys seen Felix?
A lot of the 2 girls kind of look at each other and they kind of shrug. And then the teenage girl, she says, we don't really see Felix too often. He's kind of like a loner.
Does he have a spot he usually hangs out at?
She's kind of like bouncing the baby on her hip and she's like, it's not anywhere any of us else would be. Oh, you know what? There is the attic upstairs that everyone's too creeped out to go in.
That sounds where a possessed child would go. All right, thanks.
A what child?
I just leave.
Okay. So
How very Oscar.
So Fench,
Don't
you're still
mind
in there.
him. Don't mind him. He's just a fool.
Okay. She's like, okay.
I go up to Oscar and I slap him.
Make a strength check!
I don't think he
know
needs a strength check.
No, I just want to know how much he hurts Oscar.
Oh, okay.
All right, well, we can see.
Pow! Right down the stairs.
Oh,
Yeah.
16 will hit by 1.
All right, then I'll say you take a point of damage. Because he surprised you and slaps you on the
What was-
back.
What was that for?
what do you think that was for?
What?
Fucking scaring the damn children.
I'm not scaring the kids.
Use your words carefully. For
Look.
once. For a day. For an hour.
We don't have time. Kids are dying. Gesture to the window.
As he stands right in front of freaking Myrtle.
Well, not you kids. Other kids at this place.
All right, somebody else gets to slap him now. Who's up?
This is your fault. You know what?
Are you slapping him back?
He throws the strongest punch he can
Uh,
throw, and
what-
it does nothing.
Some may call it a slap. It's definitely a motion that hands can make.
Some may call
At
it a
him.
win.
All
I
right.
slap your hand out of the air.
I think that we don't need a strength check for that one. We'll just say that, yeah, Oscar, very annoyed, seems to try to get back at you, but Fench, without even thinking, as if like by reflex alone is just able to like tap his hand down for Oscar not to even get close.
So where's this attic?
I don't know. We should have asked the children.
Prior to you scaring them away.
Yes.
They're not. They're not scared away. They're right in the room. I just popped back in.
No,
Where's
no,
the attic?
He's gone.
Where is it? Aiden, hearing Oscar shout about an attic, you kind of look up at the ceiling above you and you see the hatch that would lead to the attic.
Well, I suppose I've found it.
And then Oscar, so you run in there shouting?
I just popped my head in real quick. I'm like, so where is that attic?
There's a hatch in the hallway by the broken window.
Oh, thank you so. By the broken. Anyway, thank you so much.
She's like, sure. All right. So yes. So.
All right, Jordan, why don't you go grab that? Open that up for us.
Oh.
Yes, yes. Let's get the 4-foot man to get the hatch.
Also, I did
You
see
can
some
stand
of.
on my hands.
I jump and slap.
I mean, most likely, if this demon child can do it, so can Jorin.
Actually, Jorin, do a dexterity one since you have to also jump.
Can I? I'll give advantage.
Not a save, just a dex check.
You can. I'll help you get up.
You're gonna lift Jorin by the pits.
I mean, I was just gonna do like a hand boost kind of deal.
Okay. Well, with the boost, I'll just say that Jorin, you go to slap Oscar, but you end up slapping him like on the hand, and it doesn't really hurt Oscar, but it definitely surprises him.
Am I the only one trying to get this murder mystery solved?
Also, before you guys go up, I saw you guys bringing your tokens to the various rooms. Did you guys want to investigate anything or learn anything about the various bedrooms?
I wanted to look to see which one was the boys' bedroom.
All right. Looking through, your best guess to which one is the boys' room is... I have it written down. Is this one down here. The thing that stands out to you is that there are 5 beds, however 4 are perfectly made, and only 1 seems to be in constant use. And then if you want to look around at the beds at all, you can make an investigation check. Okay. So as you pass by some of the beds, you notice that all but the used bed have what looks like carvings in the bedpost. What languages do you speak?
Common and Dwarven and Baseline.
Okay. So yeah, so you don't know what these etchings mean, but you do see them on one of the bedposts on each of the made beds.
But not the used one?
Mm-hmm.
Can I judge what kind of language it might be?
Would that be kind of like a knowledge check? Like if you've seen it in a book or something like that?
Makes sense to me. Knowledge, history, or investigation.
Possibly looking familiar to a locket we recently seen.
I don't think Aiden's seen it.
All right.
One of those 3 checks, though.
Yeah, I'd say you could do knowledge history. Okay. Based on that, you recognize from some various readings that this is likely infernal.
Alrighty. I guess I'll ask The others, if I could cast a spell, if we've got enough time for it, or if they want to investigate the attic first.
Kind of want to go investigate that attic first.
That attic.
We could
That
split
attic.
up. You could cast your spell while we investigate the attic.
I don't
Someone's
think
got to
we
be down
should-
here to watch the kids anyway.
Yeah, but I can't watch them and cast spells in this room at the same time.
But I mean, they could move into that room with you, and then if something happens, you could stop casting and start hitting stuff.
Alright, right.
Nothing's gonna happen.
Alright, so I'll move them in
I
there with
say
you.
more to the kids.
With that tone, not everything fine.
Yeah.
So, ritual cast this.
Okay. So, will that also take you 10 minutes, or will this take...
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so the rest of you going up to the attic while he does this?
Up to the attic.
To the attic.
Okay.
Fench goes first because he has a mustache.
Woo!
Okay. So you guys, coming up into the attic through the hatch, you find an area full of dust and cobwebs, but not much else. There's some random piles of clutter, but nothing really looks significant furniture-wise. But what you do make out is there's a single window at the end of the room, and in it you see the silhouette of a young boy sitting alone in a chair.
I just kind of like whisper to Oscar, "That's not creepy as shit, is it? I mean, feels a bit creepy."
Why don't you bring up your divine sense? I feel we already know the answer.
All right, last one for the day.
I don't know. He just looks like a commoner to me.
It smells awful.
Hi, you must be Felix.
Yeah, dude, this is bad news. This guy's bad.
They,
Smells terrible.
So
He-
should I
only
just try-
only Romero can smell it.
Fair.
um,
so should I just try and grapple him and bring him to the ground?
so
I don't know. He's fucking evil.
his head turns
Wow,
towards you, Oscar, and he just
Like-
stares.
In 360 mode?
No, like just it's
He's the exorcist. Get him.
he was looking down, and he now kind of like turned his head to look at you. He kind of like turns around in his chair away from the light, and you realize he's kind of holding a knife, and it looks like he's whittling something.
What are you whittling there, Felix?
Oh, you know, just a toy doll. And he starts kind of like playing with this knife that's not meant for carving. It looks like a very large kitchen knife.
I see. Is that doll of anyone in particular?
He picks it up and he looks at it. He's like, I haven't decided yet, you know? So many options.
Oh, well, like options like who?
Well, I mean, why does it matter to you? You guys are just a bunch of grown-ups, aren't you?
Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean we're not interested in toys and things. I mean, look at Finch. She's only half grown.
You mean Jorin?
Jorin.
I like the idea of that you guys stealthily like one step as as each word is spoken. He kind of is like eyeing you guys suspiciously. He's like, you guys want to come look at this doll? I don't get why you're getting so close here. I mean, if you guys wanted to play with toys, there's a bunch downstairs.
Well, we're more interested in other things. We actually found this cool locket, and I, show him the locket.
Where'd you find that?
Does he say it just like that?
Yeah.
The mistress handed it to us.
She.
Have you seen it before?
I mean, I see a lot of things around here that most of the kids don't notice.
Oh, like what?
You know, sometimes some kids grow up faster than others, and he starts, it looks like he's gripping the knife tighter.
What color are his eyes?
They're hazel.
It's a
He kind
real
of
shame what happened to the one kid, isn't it?
Oh, Cedric. He should have known better.
Oh, what happened?
Boys will be boys, as they say, isn't it? A little roughhousing here and there. I can't help it if he can't keep his balance.
Oh.
From what I can tell, it looked like he really tried to not go out that window.
Oh, were you there that night?
No, but the fingernail marks on the windowsill tend to be from a person not trying to fall out a window.
Like I said, he couldn't really keep his balance. He starts pointing his knife towards Romero. Like he's got his hand completely straight and is pointing the knife at Romero. So, are you guys here just to tell me about a dead kid from the orphanage that we all know died?
No, we're really just kind of here to see if you've always been a demon or have just recently been possessed.
At this point, you guys start to see that the light from the only window seems to dim to from an unnatural force. And roll initiative.
Grapple.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Can I swing out both my shield and my mace at the same time, so I don't have to?
You can say that you have them out.
All right.
Woo.
Oh, Romero rolled a perfect 20.
Nice.
Jorin, as always, terrible initiative roll.
Oh no, where's the initiative calculator? I might just have to put you guys in it. Yeah. And then, Aiden, did you also roll? Yeah, cool.
Got everyone but Romero.
Romero gonna put him in an early grave.
Oh no. A turn. So Romero's got a 20.
Yeah,
Fench is
the
a 13.
Augustus brothers are first.
Oh, look. A demon.
23. Oh, hello. It's a demon.
I guess it feels better if the demon pops out of the kid, so we're not, raping our kid to death.
Huh?
I feel nicer hitting the demon outside a kid than beating the demon within the kid.
Phrasing.
Demon Adam.
Just beat the devil out of it. Bob Ross style.
Yes, but I'd say, Aiden, at this point, you probably can comprehend the languages, and you see that the runes are mean dark dreams.
Interesting.
But yes. But yes, so outward appears, you see a mass made of black smoke that takes on a shape of an elongated form with arms and legs and a head. It's kind of... It moves more like a ghost than an actual demon seems to, as it appears. So then, Oscar, you are first.
I'm like, oh, look at this, guys. We got a pedophile demon. And I'm gonna vicious mockery at him.
That's about that's about what I was expecting.
Yeah.
All right. So its wisdom is a +2, so it does not save. So he takes...
So take that 3 psychic damage. And then what's going on with the boy at this point? Like, does he still look like he's gonna stab my brother with a knife?
This boy's about to lose his head.
He looks like he's also ready to fight.
Oh shit.
Pointing a knife at a conquering paladin. You better hope he's got some kind of demon resistance.
All right, so Romero.
I'll take care of the kid. You get the demon.
Fine. Step in front of Oscar. I swing my flail.
Mm-hmm.
And I divine smite.
Okay. So, yep. So that hits. So, do both of those go through, or?
Yeah, because the smite is part of the attack. So the only thing that doesn't go through is one of
The
two
dueling styles? Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So yes. So you charge towards the demon that's appeared in front of the boy, and you bring your. Oh my god! I just
Just right there on the side.
flail. I was gonna say mace, and I was like, it's not a mace. You bring your flail up, and you bring it down on his shoulder, and the demon, his knees kind of buckle under the impact. So, and wow, it's been so long. What does it look like when you divine stuff?
Shadows that explode.
Okay, yes. So from the impact on his shoulder, you see the shadows explode, dealing even more damage to him. So, and then, yes. So I'm doing very quick math in my head. I don't know if I'm doing it right. Fench's turn.
ActionMath. Let's see. I'm gonna go around and tackle the bitch.
Okay, so you're just gonna grapple?
Yes.
Okay.
Tavern brawler that.
For grappling, do you have to make strength saves against each other?
Strength or dex
Okay.
for the grapply.
Grapply. I'm gonna say that you succeed without any issues. The kid is clearly easy for you to take to the ground and knock the knife out of his hand. He is struggling, kind of like under you, trying to worm his way out.
Oh, this
Almost
is
like
sick.
he's a little kid.
Negative. I was expecting more. I tie him up with rope.
That'd be.
I'll be honest. I was gonna hit him in the head with a flail and smite. So it's a good thing that Fench went after him, because otherwise that kid would have been toast.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you time up same turn, or would that be a separate action?
Your call.
Seems like a separate.
I think it'd be separate, right? Because you don't have it out.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was not expecting this to go as easily as it did.
All right, Aiden. So now you're up. You probably heard Fench thudding to the ground, but you don't really know what that noise is.
Probably also heard my magical explosion, right?
Oh yeah, and then the explosion of your divine smite. So you can tell there's a fight upstairs.
I'll tell the kids to stay here and shut this door behind me and try to join them.
Okay. So how far have you moved so far? Or like
15?
15? So if you scroll up, you're at the hatch.
Okay, 15, 20, 25, 30.
And you see this demon here and Fench having a kid grappled.
Having a kid?
I didn't want to say like having tackled a kid. That sounds much more violent.
That's not
Having
wrong, though.
subdued a kid?
Oh no.
Fench putting all his effort into subduing a small child.
No.
All of his effort into pinning a small child to the
Maximum
floor.
effort.
Let's just magic missiles the demon.
Okay.
The kid.
Oh no. So yes, so you focus in creating kind of like a pointed arrow in the air, directing all three of your magic missiles to hit the demon. And all three kind of like, one hits him in each shoulder, so he's kind of taken aback, and the last one hits him in the gut. And he's clearly hurt from it. And he's starting to look pretty hurt. So now it is the demon's turn. So he, being very close to Romero and Fench, he looks back and forth, and he Um. I have a question. Who has the locket right now? Is it Oscar?
Oscar has the locket, yeah.
Correct.
It's like out my hand probably because I, showed it to the kid and insulted the demon.
Is it open or closed?
The locket's probably closed. I don't see why I would just leave it open.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I don't see why you would leave. It's
All
not like
right.
you're showing him the wording. You just
So,
show him what it's
Oscar,
doing.
make a charisma save.
Ha!
Natural 1.
Okay.
19.
You get this feeling. You see the demon make eye contact with you, and you get this feeling as if he's trying to use the locket against you, but you're able to fight it off. And that's one. So then for yeah, that's his turn. That was an action. All right, Jorin.
I'm gonna shoot one arrow at the demon and yell to Romero to try and grapple him if he's looking very hurt, so that we can try and find out. Maybe he knows what they've done with the bones and what's wrong with the kid downstairs.
I can try.
I
I mean, he's made out of smoke, right?
Is he?
I don't know. I don't know how much I can grapple.
Is he made out of smoke, or is
I
he
mean,
like...
my guy gave up
He's
trying
like-
to attack him because he's like, I don't have magical weapons.
He's like semi-incorporeal. So he's standing there, but he's got that wispy look to him.
He's got the wisps.
But I mean, like, Romero's flail made contact with something.
Yeah, like he's
He's physical.
yes.
Let's get physical. I wanna get
Still get
physical.
shot by one battle.
Okay.
Let me look
So that
at them.
hits. Okay. So yeah, so you're able to focus your arrow along this attic, and you're able to hit him square in the upper leg, and he is starting to look significantly hurt now. So then it's Felix, and Felix just keeps trying to crawl out from underneath, or from Fench's grip. I'm trying to word this carefully.
Underneath a grown ass man.
Crawl out from Fench's grip to try and reach out for the knife. And then it is Oscar's turn.
I'm just gonna say, oh, I'm sorry, demon. Were you trying to do something, you little bitch? It's more vicious mockery.
Wow. Okay. So, as being as weak as he is, it seems like any insult at this point will get to him. And you can see him like kind of grip his head after you make that statement. And then
Get over
Romero.
him, kind of like have him, like a little come at me kind of thing.
And Romero.
Actually, I'm gonna step one back and do come at me.
Not that close.
I guess I'm gonna try to grab this demon. That's what we're trying, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Well, you
it
can
was
just
a
murder a
suggestion.
demon.
Well, we're trying to get information on like where these bones went, possibly, and what is. We know there's something evil wrong with the kid downstairs, and knowing what that is could be helpful.
Knowing's half the battle.
Try to bear hug him.
Okay. So he's taken surprise by this, and you're able to wrap your arms around his shape, but then it's he kind of escapes your grasp, so you can't actually get a hold on him.
Alrighty. Well, that was my turn.
Oh, that was a terrible idea. Who thought of that?
Not me this time.
So then Fench.
Well, I'm gonna be tying up the kid.
Okay. And then Aiden.
It should be pointed out that I'm putting him in the corner, away from the window.
I saw what the demon did earlier, right?
What do you mean by did?
To Oscar.
Yes. Where you eyed him down?
Yes.
Yes.
So I move up. Alright. And try to simultaneously cast this on him.
Okay.
Alright. And tell him to stand behind me.
Okay.
What were you casting?
Protection from good and evil.
Oh, okay.
All right. So the demon now looking hurt and is kind of desperate. Fench, where are you standing? You're standing next to the kid?
Yeah.
Okay. So in a desperate act, he runs over and shouts out, "I'll cut this kid's fucking throat if you don't let me go."
Cool.
Alright, I mean, I block that.
Hold on. You just block it?
Yeah.
Do you like take a defensive maneuver to maybe get in there?
He's got Sentinel. He can
Yeah.
intervene
Oh, yeah.
to aid others.
So what does that mean exactly?
Basically,
His-
they get disadvantage on any attack.
Okay. When he shouts this, you don't actually see him move other than grabbing the kitchen knife, unless you want to block him from grabbing the knife.
Yeah.
So then, does he have to make a check against you, or...
You're the DM. Does he have to make a checks against it, or does
I didn't know
one of
if...
them just succeed?
Yeah, I didn't know if it had any specific wording to it.
No, it's just specifically I can stop somebody from just directly. I can make them take.
He disadvantages them by trying to intervene
Okay.
on people attacking around him.
Post it, Fench.
All right. I'll have him roll Dex. So the first hit with disadvantage, he rolled a 7. So I'm going to say, Fench, you're able to kind of stop him, and you swing your sword down at his hand as he tries to reach for the kitchen knife that Felix had dropped. Roll a damage die.
Alright.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a hit. Yeah. Okay. So, not only do you prevent the demon from grabbing the knife, you're also able to make a swing against him. And now he's looking pretty hurt, and he's kind of like kneeling down on the ground. So then it is Jorin's turn.
Well, Jorin will do what Jorin does best. Shoot arrows.
Snipe around everybody.
Snipe around peoples.
And that hits. And with that arrow, you're able to hit the demon in the neck, and he falls over dead. And
Does
then
he blink before he disappears in a shower of gold coins?
he unfortunately is not a boss from Mario. But the dimmed light now, it's as if someone's lifting up a shade or a curtain. It's now much brighter in the attic, and you see that Felix, tied up in the corner, has started gasping for air and sobbing.
You good there, kid? You were just possessed by a demon.
He's kind of sniffling. He's like, I just felt it wasn't me. I swear, I didn't do those things. It wasn't me.
Give him a good eyes staring, to shake him up a bit.
do we know if he still has the demon in him?
Romero, you don't smell anything. Oh, I guess you already used all your divine sense.
I don't
but,
have any more divine sense, so.
But even though you try and stare him down in the eyes to kind of intimidate him, Oscar, he has his eyes shut. He's crying. It's full blown tears.
I think I missed it. I think I blinked and missed it. Did it just evaporate and go?
He
Yeah.
shot it in the neck, and it evaporated.
I'm gonna kind of like swipe that necklace at like the dust that he kind of left behind or whatever. The vapors.
The vapors.
What was that again? Sorry.
I'm gonna just swipe the necklace around in the vapors that he left behind.
It doesn't seem to do anything.
That's fine. It makes me feel better.
Are you swinging it like a hypnotist through the evaporated demon?
No, it's more just like in my hand. I'm just trying to like catch it.
Whatever wisps are left.
Yeah.
But yes. So Felix looks like he's come to himself. He looks very upset in the corner.
Can I do a quick, I guess... Do I understand how demons work? Like, what check would that be? Like, nature, or would that be, Arcana, or...
Religion.
It
Yeah, I think
depends.
it's religion.
Religion? Alright. Oh, alright, I don't get it.
Yeah, you suck at demons. Yeah, you totally suck.
So Fench, you try to go back into your memory to remember what you can, and you just blurt out, where'd that ghost come from? No, I'm kidding. But no. So all you can think about is like your knowledge about the Fae, but you can't recall any times that you've directly read about or dealt with demons.
I think that's fair. That's not my specialty. Well, so should I untie him now? Is he good enough to go, or?
I'm gonna bet yes.
All right, that's not me making the decision. That's you now.
Do you happen to remember anything about some bones in a graveyard?
He's crying. He's like, I don't know anything about that. The only bugs I know about. The demon made me kill my mom and dad, and then made me kill Cedric, and then he just breaks down and more crying. And he's like, I remember the demon wanted me to go into Milivoje's room with my locket. I kept just whispering mean things to all the other kids.
So, guys, do we have any way to modify this kid's memory so he doesn't realize he's like killed like 4 people?
I don't think that's a thing.
No.
At least not at this level. Crud.
That
What? My level of spells.
Well, okay. Well, I'm gonna be honest. I am not trained for this situation. So, who wants to take a step up here?
I mean, all I can do is maybe calm his emotions.
I thought, Oscar, you read all those parenting books.
No, I read one parenting book because I thought it was going to be smut, and turned out it wasn't.
I
Oh
mean,
God, there is so much in that.
You didn't realize that's what he was implying earlier?
Yeah.
Welcome to the party, Fench. What was the title of the book again, Oscar?
It was like a single mother guide or something.
I mean, I could terrify the kid worse than he's terrified of all the bad stuff he did.
Put him into a pure state of shock.
Like one of those. There are far worse things out there than what you have done.
The good thing is, it was not you. It was not you.
But just because
Repeat
a
that.
few bad acts doesn't define the character,
Well,
you may now spend your life just doing good deeds, proving that you are better than that demon.
correct.
He's still kind of like sniffling in the corner. He's like, I guess. He kept talking about how he wanted to be a person. I didn't understand it all.
That is the nature of such vile creatures. They try and be people, though they, as you clearly know, are not.
You wanted what you had, life. Don't squander it.
He sniffles, and he's kind of like quieting down. But he still has that choking sob where every so often you hear him kind of like hiccup.
Well, yeah, he killed people. Like,
Did you say
his
that out loud?
parents, an innocent kid.
How old is this kid?
Felix, he is
Old enough to be acquitted.
Taller or shorter than Jorin?
probably about the same height. I want to say, if not 10, somewhere near there. There's a lot of kids I have written down. Sorry.
Oh, good.
I have a list of kids.
I just have a list of kids.
So that means that we could just talk to every kid here and give them all backstories. Let's run downstairs, guys. We'll name each one after a listener.
Romero's pretty harsh, so he's probably just going to be like, look, I understand you're upset, kid, but you remember everything that happened while that demon was around?
He sniffles. Goes, mm-hmm.
Did you steal any bones?
Mm-mm.
But you made Milivoj sick,
I think so.
and you pushed the kid out the window.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to have to repent for that.
Yeah.
Where did you get the locket?
I have it. It's in these notes, I swear.
The kid pulls out his notes and starts rifling through.
my search function's not working. Oh.
No.
No,
God
no.
gave it to him.
Control F. Control F.
No, that's what I mean. I'm hitting Control F and it's just not. It's not in my favor.
Alt tab. Select the inquiry.
So anyway, how about that Planet Zoo?
All right, he sniffles. He goes, I just found it in this creepy box, and I thought it was just something cool. I don't know what it was.
Creepy box. Where did you find the box?
It was sitting out in the woods.
Near here?
Yeah, outside Velaki.
Does anyone have a map? Kind of look around to the other people. No. Describe to the short man here, and I point at Jorin.
I think Aiden has a map, or Aiden has a.
I thought, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I have seen a map.
All right, I just point to Jorin. I'm like, describe to him where you found this box, and then think about joining the priesthood or something.
He thinks about it. He's
and then Romero kind of coldly leaves because he's like, this is handled.
Alright, yeah. He explains to Jordan. He's like, I was going up to the lake up north just to because they said there's that fisherman guy who can't ever get fish. So I thought I would help him out and stuff. And I saw the box on the side of the road. But ever since I opened the box and found the locket, I haven't been me.
Oh,
That's because you were possessed by a demon.
yeah. Demons can do that to you, kid. That's tough.
I know. I'm thinking S-Dog probably maybe left that there in hopes to corrupt from the inside.
Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot.
I'm not ready ever.
Good old S dog.
children here.
That's why I'm calling him S-Dog.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, the box didn't say anything.
But you found it like right on the road.
On the edge of the woods. It was never. I wasn't allowed to be out there, but I did it anyway.
That's okay. We don't have to tell anyone that you were allowed or not to be out there. It's you know,
It's kind of the least of his crimes.
yeah. Finding a box randomly out there isn't that big a deal. Any of us would have looked what's in the box and probably taken the locket too.
He kind of
Right,
like,
guys? Glancing.
You sure?
Oscar, you have the locket now.
Yeah, I have the locket now.
So you're saying you wouldn't have taken it from a box?
Anyone could take anything from anything. As I hold
Nah.
my staff.
yeah. And Oscar, as you hold up the staff, it doesn't look like anyone else notices, but you look at your hand and you see the black veining in your arm.
As I just contemplate, what if I was possessed by a demon, which one would have to die first?
What, you or everybody else?
I'm just saying which one the demon would go after.
But all right.
So I turn to Felix and say, Felix, let's go down to the headmistress. We can explain to her. I'll go with you. We can tell her what happened around here.
Are one of you gonna carry? Or did you untie him, Finch, or do you have to carry him down?
I think we should untie him.
I already did.
Oh, okay. All right. So he kind of has his head down, but he nods. All right. So you guys all done up here?
Well,
Yeah.
I'll say I was going to go down with him to the headmistress, but there.
I just mean
No,
like on
is
this
it?
floor.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything interesting in the attic.
I mean, I was probably gonna go down and do a quick sweep of the house to see if that shadow went anywhere.
Okay. So I'll bring you down to like the first floor. Anyone else going with Jorin to the headmistress?
I am.
Okay. So I'll put the three of you there. And then Romero, Aiden, and Fench. Fench, you said you're doing like a look around the house. Where do you want to start?
I don't think it particularly matters.
All right, I'll just put you on this first floor, and if you have questions about anything, you can let me know. Romero and Aiden, where do you want to head to?
I'm gonna check on Millivoj.
Okay, what about you, Aiden?
I checked the bedrooms again for that. Right?
Okay.
I'm surprised no one collected our children.
I mean, collected them.
They're off playing with other children.
I'll bring him to the
No,
first
I
floor
put
with
them in a
Aiden.
bedroom.
Oh, yeah. You close the door, so I guess while you're looking at the bedrooms, Aiden, you can pick up the kids and bring them downstairs. So Aiden, you look around, you see the carvings are still there because they were carved into the wood, but they haven't necessarily disappeared. And then Romero, when you enter the room with Millivoj, you see that it looks like he's a completely new man. He's not sweating anymore. He's not pale. And he's like, it looks like you caught him when he's slowly getting up, finally from his unrestful sleep.
So he's just getting up.
Yeah, like he's like slowly sitting up on the side of his bed.
Kind of just grab a water skin from my pack and throw it to him.
He catches it. He's like, thank you. Who are you?
My name's Romero. I'm one of the guys who just made you better.
Oh, thanks. He's kind of like hunched over, like he's awake now, but he's clearly like very much out of energy, and he starts to like take a drink from the water skin. Like, what did you have to do to help me out?
Oh, the usual, killing demons, whatnot.
A demon in the orphanage?
How'd you know it was in the orphanage? And I narrow my eyes at him.
He's like, all the kids have been telling me they've been having weird dreams. I seem to be in an unending nightmare. I assumed it was in the orphanage.
Fair enough. Anyway, you should probably get some rest until the others arrive, and then we'll have some questions to ask you.
He's like, okay. And he's like holding his head as if he's got a headache or a migraine.
Does he look like he's still sick?
He doesn't look sick, but it looks like, when you're first coming out of getting sick. Like, he's still tired, but he has he's not pale anymore. He's not visibly sweating.
Gotcha.
Okay. But yeah, Aiden, so you saw that the carvings are still there because they're carved into the bedpost. Fench, as you're doing a sweep around the house, are you only checking places that you've already been? Or are you going to different rooms? I hear a crying cat.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Fench,
Yes.
as you're going through, are you just going through like all the rooms you've been through, or did you want to check other rooms?
I mean, I was gonna go through the bedrooms and then make my way downstairs as I go.
Okay. Yeah, looking through the rooms, a lot of it seems pretty clear. You don't see anything out of the ordinary in the bedrooms or a lot of the first floor rooms that you've already been in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you see no signs of any kind of shadow.
Okay.
And then, so Oscar and Jorin. So how do you start?
Start. Like, I mean, is she still in her office?
Yeah, she's still in her office. Like, she's there when you guys jump in.
I'll just, I'll walk in and be like, alright, first rule of parenting. Don't let your kids become possessed by a demon. Second rule, if they do, kill the demon.
Make a dex check since you have to jump up.
Shouts Kobe as he does it.
Yes. So with perfect ease, you see your target. You missed it earlier, and you slap Oscar kind of on the ear to get him to stop.
So, do you have any tact, man?
Just straightforward.
But she looks very concerned, and she goes over, and she kind of kneels down to check on Felix and asks him, "Are you okay?" And of course, Felix is still sniffling and looks very he keeps staring at the floor.
Okay. I'll explain to her kind of, just what happened in that, we found what was going on and that there was a demon that had possessed Felix, and is why many of the terrible things have been happening.
A possession? Is that what that locket was?
We're pretty sure that's where the demon came from, was that locket, but we did manage to kill it.
Okay, so she gives Felix a strong hug and pats his head and it's like, all right, does this mean everyone is better now? Will everyone be okay?
Oh, it's there's no guarantees, but everyone, I would assume, should get better. There hopefully shouldn't be any more bad things happening from that, at least.
She says, all right, thank you. I unfortunately don't have a lot of money to be able to reward you with. I can offer you a safe place to stay if you ever need to stay in the orphanage. Here, let me look through. She steps past Felix and kind of looks through some of these cabinets here. She pulls out 2 potions of healing. And she says, the doctor had given me these, but hopefully to help Milivoj. But if the demon was the answer to everything, he shouldn't need these anymore. And she hands them to Jorin.
Oh, but thank you. That's very generous of you. Hopefully, Milivoj's ailment was, evil in nature. These probably would have stayed it for a short while, but I'm glad that we could be helped.
She nods and she's clearly very happy with it. She's like, yes, yes. He helps provide so much to the orphanage in the way of funds by working with the father at the church. I can't thank you enough.
How much does he bring in from helping with the church?
It varies depending on how many burials need to be made. It's kind of like more of an on-call thing, not really a consistent paycheck.
Is he the only source of income coming from you guys?
We get some help from the burgomaster, but you see we have a lot of children to feed.
Oscar, are you volunteering your time to help?
Not so much time, possibly just funds. How much does the Burgermeister give you?
She thinks about it. She's like, he helps more in the way of just kind of like providing basic foods and just enough gold to refill our water skins. It's really not much.
Well, then maybe this will help, and I'll take out some gold pieces and put it in my hand and just kind of like clasp her hands around my hand, giving her 100 gold.
You're just casually have 100 gold in the palm of your hand.
Handful of 100 gold.
Can you even hold 100 gold in the palm of your hand?
It's not as casual as one would think. It's definitely like fumbling a bunch of money and being like, here.
Here's this big sack of money.
Yeah, I imagine so. You reach into your pouch, not really counting the gold, and you're kind of just like, you want to look suave that you have it in the palm of your hand. Make a dex check.
I'd like to notice he's doing this in front of Jorin.
Yes.
Jorin's just seeing him dump 100 gold on the orphanage.
Yes. So you are stumbling with it, trying to like keep all the coins in one pile, and you see her. She has to put both of her hands out for you to put all this gold on, and she just starts crying because she doesn't know what to do with all this. Like, she's overwhelmed.
You know, keep it safe. Make sure it lasts, but use this to better help the kids here.
Can you actually afford that?
Yeah, we got like 200 more.
All right. I mean, as long as we're not going to starve because you're giving all our money away.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've gone to like all the places they give us free room and free food.
All right. I mean, they need it. I'm not angry about this.
He just dropped a third of our money.
Starve.
But okay.
Well, I assume too with some money and some decentness, this might be a good spot. Like, you know, our two kids can maybe hang out here and enjoy the company of the kids and such.
She's like, if this is more than plenty to make sure that there's room and board for them. Yes, there should be enough room in the boys' room now that I think about it. There are two other boys that usually stay in the same room as Felix, but they've run off once everything kind of went haywire.
Well, hopefully this helps clean up the mess and gets the kids more motivated and helping out.
Yes, yes. I recall Milavoj hired some of the local huntsmen to see if they could track down the boys. This could probably also help pay them in case they need to continue their search.
Glad to hear. You don't want the kids to come back?
Well, I mean, they seem to have made up their mind of leaving.
Oh, yes. They fled a demon who was living in their bedroom with them. I really can blame them for that.
Yeah, well, you know, see something, say something. They could have reported, you know, some issues before just leaving it. Plus, if these huntsmen really cared about the kids, they'd do it pro bono.
Well, they're huntsmen. They're not benevolent adventurers like us.
That's true. We are the better men.
All you have to do is appeal to his ego.
Okay.
All right. So now that Oscar's in good with the orphanage here.
I'd say so, yeah.
On an unrelated note, how old would you say she was?
On
We're
a
gonna hit on the
completely
headmistress
related
now?
note.
50s.
Completely.
Nah, never mind.
related
All
note.
right, cool.
Even.
Anyway, shall we
So,
continue
yeah.
our search for these bones?
Let's say we go back and check on the other kid with Romero.
All right.
Now that we're demonless.
Demonless.
At least the physical ones.
All right, Fench and Aiden, what are you guys up to now that you've kind of like looked around to see if anything was still suspicious in the house?
I just rejoin in Malivorge's room.
Okay, what about you, Fench?
I'm just tagging along at this point.
Okay, I'll drag you guys over to the room. All right. So yeah, as the rest of you convene in this room, you all see that Malivolge is now kind of like sitting on the side of his bed, kind of like massaging his temples as he's recovering now that he's suddenly better.
Well, I'm glad killing the demon worked.
Yep. So, any clues about these bones?
I didn't question him.
Oh.
Do you want to ask him some questions? I felt it would be better if everyone was here for this.
Yes, much more intimidating with all of us around him asking him questions about bones.
I don't think it can be any more intimidating than just me one-on-one with him.
You're not wrong.
He kind of overhears you guys mentioning bones. He's like, oh no, are you guys looking for the bones from the church?
Yes. Do you know what happened to him?
I do. So I was kind of low on work at the church at the time, and the assistant had mentioned to me, there might be something underneath the church. So I made a deal to sell those to help make money for the orphanage.
I'd like to hit him. Let's
Well,
try to get at this.
well. Before Oscar beats a child to the death.
He's like
Let
late
me tell you.
teens.
Okay, before he beats this teenager up, I say, well, then it's simple enough. You just have to tell us who you sold them to.
Oscar makes a motion as if he's going to reach out and slap Malivolge, and Romero instinctively knows to put his hand up to stop him from reaching the boy. Malivolge goes, it's the coffin maker, Henrik. He has a store near here. I don't know why he asked for it, but the kids were getting sick and I wanted to be able to get them help.
Oh,
All
this is
right.
gonna be great.
So the coffin maker. What can you tell us about this man?
He's really quiet, doesn't really say much, doesn't seem to like people. I know that compared to everyone else in Vlaki, we're all kind of like not pleasant to be around, but he's even less so.
You said that the assistant told you about the bones. How did you find them?
He told me they were underneath, so I used my shovel to pry up a floorboard because I didn't know how to get underneath. I replaced it, so no one seemed to notice it, but is it a problem that I sold them?
That's
You fucked up.
A big one.
It's not the most ideal.
He starts to look nervous. He's like, what? I thought they were just like a corpse.
You stole the saint's bones.
What does that mean?
It means your church is no longer holy, and bad things can get in.
Oh no, I didn't know. He starts to like, you know, he starts to kind of like put his head down between his hands.
Where's the coffin maker?
He has a shop in town. It's let me double check which building it is. It is. It's down on the east side of the town, kind of near the main shopping area. It's got a bright orange roof once you get there.
All right, well, have we wrapped up everything else here?
Yeah. Why don't you keep an eye on our kids? We'll be back soon enough.
Yes, yeah, I can definitely help. I didn't know that the bones were that important. I thought they were just the dead guy.
You're asking this super ill teenager to watch the children?
He's not ill anymore. We killed the demon. He's good. Look at him. He's strong. He digs holes for a living.
Oh, I'm not going to engage that. Let's go.
Let's go punch a grave keep box maker in the face.
Gravekeep Boxmaker.
Yep.
Great words. More than.
Is the inn on the way back to the coffin maker?
Yes, it'll pass by.
Alright. Let's instead take the kids home.
Well, why don't we let them hang out with these other children? They look like they're having a fine time.
Oh,
What are the
yes.
kids up to?
I don't know. You left them by the toys. They're probably still playing with toys. Keeping to themselves.
I mean, it can be your call. I just feel that, instead of hanging out at a bar, it might be better if they spend some time with other kids their own age at here.
Oscar, you had an opportunity to drop these kids off at this orphanage 2 days ago, and you decided not to take it.
But isn't this also kind of good because there was a demon at the orphanage?
See?
Or are
If
we
we would
just
have
gonna?
dropped them, if we would have dropped them off 2 days ago, they might have been dead.
I just mean, what has suddenly changed, Oscar?
Less demons.
You didn't know about the demons before.
He also paid off the headmistress so that the kids would be all right.
He paid off the headmistress. What do you mean?
I made a donation to the orphanage here to kind of help them out a bit.
I thought the only money we had was what we took from that winery. I mean, I have these coins we can't use.
No, we still have plenty of money left.
I didn't see how
I
much he
take
was
out like
spending there,
the
but he was
the huge bag we have.
To which everyone sees that Oscar has a huge amount of money.
I'll say you guys are at least like outside. Like you were on your way out.
So we just have a ton of money.
I mean, we got a decent sum. I mean, it's helping that every place we go to, we keep getting free meals and free room and board.
Fair enough. Does anyone need to buy anything?
I could use a weapon that actually can hit something incorporeal. That would be nice.
Well, do you know a shop that makes them?
We could
Yeah.
try to find one.
We are heading to the shopping district in town.
So Aiden, bringing the kids, leaving the kids.
We can leave the kids.
We can come back for them tonight. Think of it more like a daycare than a
That's not
than
the
a,
definition of an
orphanage.
orphanage. All right.
Well, is there a daycare here?
I don't think this is no. All right. So, yes. Did you guys want to call it here, or did you want to just get the intro to the coffin shop?
Let's get the intro to the coffin shop, I guess. I'm fine with that. What do you guys think?
We'll just have to re-explain it when we come back.
I say I was cool with calling it.
Okay, we can call it then.
Okay.
That's fine.
Should we